And, of course, Corey, this goes without saying, one of the best to ever play in the United States.
We saw him late last night, and if you were watching and with us late last night, you'd have seen Corey losing to Shane Thompson, but he had to go and dig deep. He had to go and actually had to scrap his way pretty hard in the loser's side of the draw. Had Mark Dimmock, and it was the last match playing because it went on slightly later because of Corey's match being on the TV table, and it was Corey that got over the line. But it was hard graft, 6 racks to 4. No credit to him for digging deep and winning, because it's quite deflating going straight off losing and straight back out there. But he is straight back into the tournament here, and it's nice and even really now, because it's straight knockout, last 32, win or go home.
Yeah, and I think Corey coming off that loss to Shane and then going right back out, and again the tables play a little different when there's lights and everything on them, so he's going from one style of table to slightly different play, but he seemed to do well and knocked out Mark Dimmock and qualified for the last 32. Looking for a little bit of revenge here on this TV table, and going to be shooting this 10 ball in the side here with just a nice roll forward for the 14, looking to strike first against Dynamite. Queuing low, gonna see a stun or a draw. Hit that pretty well. It's gonna be gapped right through the 3 and the 7 with his bridge, but should be no problem. He sinks the 8 ball 1-0, and in this series now, the final 32, everything is a race to 7 until we get to our championship match.
Corey will feel like he should have won the match, and he didn't. Shane will feel like he should have won the match and felt like he lost it, then he ended up winning it. So, amazing match, and who knows, they might end up playing each other again.
Yeah, and I think the crowd had a little bit to do with it, because you had a little bit of a USA versus Europe feel to it. Crowd getting into it, really enjoying themselves last night for that match. And I know with the possibility of them eventually meeting back up again, it would be an absolute great sight to see. Maybe Corey isn't as excited as I would be, but maybe looking for some revenge as well. Darren here just trying to figure out what the best starting point is. Hit that ball well, was able to move the 7. And really his only issue here is going to be that 1 ball. Just got to navigate these balls that are down here, the 2 and the 7, and then look for a shot. Oh, he's actually going to play the safe.
Yeah, and we were sort of, well, I was anyway, questioning Corey's decision to chase a tough layout a few racks ago, and Darren in that position here, and he's pulled it back and gone a little bit more on the negative side. So interesting decisions being made out there.
That was actually a really cool shot to see, because he played it very well. Obviously, you would think you'd want the cue ball a little higher, closer to the 7, but really locking that ball in the pocket and making it difficult for Corey to have a shot on this 14.
Didn't realise he'd actually left him the edge there, so he was able to play the combination. But it's still, that's not where the problem's finished. There's still plenty of issues out there.
Yeah, I think this 10 ball does just slide in between the 8 and the 15 into the corner pocket.
Well, that changes things. I thought the 10 ball was in a spot of bother, and you put the 10 ball with the 14 ball, and all of a sudden you've got 2 big problems to solve. But the fact that goes, it's maybe it's just certainly a misstep from Darren. He's got to make sure if he's playing that shot that he doesn't leave Corey the edge.
And I think Corey has the ability to go 2 rails around just like this. He wants to be on the underside of it. Obviously not what he wanted, but we may see an opportunity here. Depending on how that 2 ball is sitting, we might be able to follow this in But the 8-ball's in a weird spot as well. And you can't say Corey hasn't had the dig and the drive to win these matches, because he's played excellent for the most part.
He's got that one wrong though. So Darren did get what he wanted.
Just took him a few shots.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, asked Corey to take out a tough finish and he didn't. It leaves Darren out wide open, easy run out to tie the scores up.
He's played that pretty well. Maybe didn't want as much angle. I think he may play this in the corner, just so his cue ball movement isn't as harsh. And he's up on the 8-ball here. We're looking at 2-2 in our 32 round. Of course, this is single elimination now. Whoever loses this, unfortunately for them, is going to have to pack up.
Nick Carpenter has beaten Javier Naranjo, and Shane Thompson beat Jeff Sullivan 7-5, 7-1 respectively. So that's that quarter of the draw.
Yeah, just one match still going in that top 32, and it must be an absolute nail biter. And speaking of nail biters here, Corey trying to run away, and this is a really nasty position for the stripes. Just everything kind of bunched up, so I think is he going to play the 10 here? Now, the 9-ball has a hole. I don't know if the 12 can go in the corner, but maybe into the side. Maybe it's not as bad as I initially thought.
I quite like the stripes, because the stripes you can pick off and it just opens up the 8-ball, whereas the solids you're going to have to deal with the 8-ball. Wants to get rid of the 13. Love to be a touch higher up the table. So tough shot here to control. It was a tough shot to control, but he controlled it incredibly well.
And recognized there that he could roll back onto that 1-ball and hold for shape on the 15. So here, I can't tell what his next shot is going to be. He may have to send the cue ball for a ride here. Watch the side pocket. Came up good.
He's on the 9. Which in turn opens up the 12. Or does it? Yeah, does it still go in the side? It goes in the corner, so it's just not really an issue. It didn't go in the corner before, but now it does, I think.
Yeah, and I think all that does is just change the pattern he's going to have to play. He could have played the 12 next, but I think he's going to have to play the 11 here and roll up, which is exactly what he's set up for. Corey really sometimes a little unorthodox with the way he runs out, but it really works for him. And you can't argue with results here. 5-2.
Yeah, he's flying along. So Kenny moves on. He's in the same section of the draw as Chris Melling, who beat Joey A 7-3. Jonathan Hennessy beat Braxton Gleason 7-4. And yeah, it's all starting to shape up nicely as we see the 8-ball go in. Now this is an interesting one and a tough one, because obviously no golden breaks in play. Well, actually, I was about to say he's dry other than the 8-ball, but he did make another ball, so it's fine. That the ruling is that if no other balls are made, then it counts as a dry break, which is actually, no, I was right. So the 8-ball is the only ball made. It's a dry break.
Yeah, and that's fair. You know, when you spot the 8-ball, if there's still 15 on the table, it's not your shot anymore. It's pretty easy to understand.
That's the thing. I mean, I understand why Darren's frustrated. I really do. He's made a ball off the break and he's dry. But when you look at the table, there's 15 balls on there. So to say you've made a ball, it doesn't really make any sense as well.
Oh, and well, Corey didn't give that shot the respect it deserved. And Darren quickly back to the table here. Barely had a chance to sit down, actually.
Yeah. A little bit of a moan with a referee Trish, and before you know it, he's straight back to the table.
And this is an interesting dynamic on this match. If Darren Appleton were to win this, he'll have a rematch with his first shootout opponent, Jacob Watson, waiting on the winner of this one. All of our other matches on the way. This is getting exciting, Simon. I'm really just absolutely blown away with how fun this has been this weekend. And we're really just now getting into the fire of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a nice build since the shootout Thursday. It came in hard with just a hugely dramatic day, and then it's slowly built since then. And I think over the course of the next few hours and into this evening, we're going to see plenty more because, well, there's 3 big trophies to hand out today.
Absolutely, ladies, juniors, and the Open, and a lot of these juniors out here competing for maybe the first time. It's been a lot of excitement for them, and one of those young gentlemen or ladies is going to hold up a trophy. Might be bigger than them.
Yeah, and win a fair bit of cash as well, which is always nice.
Absolutely. We've seen a few of our ladies on the TV table here. Good showing for them as well. They're down to their final 8 and moving down as we speak, as Darren gets a game on the board, a much needed game, now 3-5 here in this race to 7. Looking to add their name to Darren Appleton's on the history of this event. Not a bad name to share with there. And a good break here. The 8 ball, the only ball in a real bit of trouble. Should be fairly easy to get that 8 ball moving. He's got some great shots to be able to do it. And Darren just has to hope for an opportunity here.
Just about hope to cling to here for Darren, but not too much. 8 ball just needs a little bit of work.
I think we may see that 8 ball being bumped here.
Well, that'll maybe give Darren a touch of hope even more. It hasn't quite popped out.
I'm not sure, but I think the 8 ball might actually go in the side pocket. It is very tight. Not a shot I want to shoot for the win. I think we may see him try and bump that again in one of these next 3 balls. May feel comfortable with it though.
Yeah, it doesn't have a great ball to do it. Maybe now we have to force it. Yeah, he's happy to leave it, so he's must believe it goes. I mean, he does have enough angle here if he wants to. He could play into it again, or more likely play into the 2 ball, but I think he'd made his decision that it goes.
Ugh.
Wow, he wanted to be right behind it.
Yeah, and this makes it tenfold more difficult.
And it goes though, still manages to find a way. Corey Jewell marches on. The shootout champion, Darren Appleton, is out. No double for Dynamite, but Corey Jewell, principal, he is marching on. He's into the last 16.
And back again, this is our top 16 round. Billy Thorpe, Jeff DeLuna. I am Stephen Wyatt. Simon with us as well. What a break by Billy. Wow. And opportunities all over the place. 4 balls down on the break. And Billy wasting no time going to work. And Billy just getting away from Roberto Gomez draws another Filipino star here in Jeff the Bull DeLuna. And Jeffrey with one of the biggest breaks in pool, and Billy says, I can do that too. Really set himself up well here. And what a great shot there. Billy, originally scheduled for our shootout, unfortunately was unable to make the travel. I think it would have been a lot of fun to see him in that situation, and I hope we get a chance to see him in a shootout at some point. Taking his time here on the 7 ball. Just needs to float up. Real good here. Just going to go top rail, right side rail, down for the 15. He may even come backwards. Just 1 rail. Yeah, that's perfect. Wow. Really good shot there by Billy. He's not afraid to move the cue ball when he has to, and he made that look very, very easy.
Very smooth start, wasn't it?
And speaking of Shane Thompson, one of those names that, again, a lot of people may not have known if you don't follow Ultimate Pool, but made a great splash here in the shootout as well as in this tournament. I'm definitely ready to see more of him in the United States. Big break there. Just a cue ball in a tight spot.
Again, first shot could be the key. Gets the first shot away and lands on the next ball, then this rack could be quite quick for him. Everything's got a pocket. Yeah, he's okay. Played that one well. Just needs to be careful. Land on the 9 at the bottom, but loads of room.
Yeah, and these guys that come over from the Philippines, Jeff DeLuna, Roberto Gomez, so good at controlling the cue ball and making it do crazy things at times. Also some of the biggest characters in the game. Absolutely brooding with personality as Jeff DeLuna and Roberto. It's been great to see them all week. Such a big rack for Jeff here. Very, very nice shot there. Just needs to get a shot at the 10 ball here, and it's all over. Except for... Oof.
Yeah, a little close for comfort, but he's okay.
And he's trying to make it pretty tight here. Trying to make me eat my words. 8 ball down in the side pocket. Gets him his first rack. It is a little bit of a comeback here. He's going to need a lot more, though. Needs to make it 2 here.
Beautiful break. I feel like that's his best of the match. Not that there's been too many to really compare it to. I mean, it's not that he's hit the break bad, it's just not been the results.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a good start here. last rack, the only reason he had so much trouble is because everything was kind of in a weird spot. He had to get the breakouts, and he just missed it. This is a lot easier of a layout. No crazy breakouts involved. Just needs to keep it simple. Oh. And that's going to be a really, really bad start to this rack.
Yeah, nowhere to go here. Can he bank the 4?
I think it's so close to the side rail, it's tough to call. I think he's going to bank it backwards.
Oh, no. And that might be it for De Luna. That may be his tournament.
When that bank shot, a valiant effort, but just doesn't fall. And Billy Thorpe here looking to steal another of Jeff De Luna's racks. Statements made. Billy Thorpe is here. And he's here all business. Just a few more good shots here will put him in a great spot to win the match and move on to the final 8. And it looks as though he's going to do just that. And as we spoke about before, the winner of this match will be playing, it looks like, Shane Thompson. Shane, of course, hitting the ball really good. That's going to be an absolute banger of a match. Interesting little tidbit of information here as Billy sets up on his last 2 balls. Lance Schofield and Tyler Steyer playing in the last 16. It's a tie ball game, 3-3 between those 2 players. Tyler done very well in this tournament so far. Might be the toughest match he's had. And Billy here just can't say enough about how really well he played.
Yeah, it's been flawless performance from Billy, taking it to Jeffrey De Luna from the very first ball. Broke huge, played well, and safely into the quarterfinals. Nothing really that Jeffrey could get going. Had a couple of chances, always was tough looks. Here's Billy Thorpe, who is really rounding into form for the right time here. He's into the quarterfinals of the Louisiana Open.
There's a lot of work to be done here. Naturally, off of this 11, I think he'll be moving towards the 12 and 13. Maybe get a little split on them, give some breathing room. It is a very tight shot, though. Got to make sure you don't run into that 8 ball. Yeah, got a little room there. This is tricky, though, because he didn't get a shot on the 14, and he doesn't have another ball to go. He's looking at the combo here. Oh, he could see past that ball. I didn't think he could. Tough miss there for Braden.
Much tougher layout, though. Second time at the table, this one for Jaden, but the layout's completely changed. So it's maybe a bit of work on a little bit of match play here. Just wait, be patient, and that's a good shot.
And I think in this situation that he was in, where he was playing a little quick and he was thinking very offensively, I think right here, switching to that defensive mode to try and get a little room, a little bit of room and a little bit of time to breathe. And Braden just gonna play the safe back. A little tap there. I think here, Jaden Holt has an opportunity to play a nice little touch safety. Rolled a little far. He's going to leave Braden a shot at the 10 ball. Not out of the woods yet, though. The 9 ball still tied up to the 7. And it looks as though we've had a foul, possibly a double hit.
Yeah, Braden not sure about that one. Let's have another look. Hard to tell. Patricia Murphy right on hand to call it, though. Hard to tell from the replay. That's what she's out there for.
And she is very good at what she does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the best.
And Jaden here has a good opportunity. He's got just a little bit of angle. Just wants to run into this ball. And sometimes when you have those shots, the power is not what you want. The power is going to cause your cue ball to stall a little. I think if he would have hit that a little smoother, he could have gotten the breakout on the 7 there. Now he's really in a bind.
I question the decision making, though, because even if you get the breakout on the 7, how are you dealing with the 3? You know, you get cue ball in hand. That doesn't mean you have to go. And now he's just going to open up the stripes here.
Well, I mean, he played a great shot to move the 7, but I don't think the shot on the 3 ball was there, period. So sometimes you really just have to look at it and say, okay, what's the best possible situation? And I don't think he did that in that shot.
Table 24, Zane Thomason, Justin Cook, table 24.
Well, and Braden looking for a chance to extend his lead one more game. He's looking at the halfway mark if he's able to take this rack down. And it looks like he's going to do a pretty good job of getting towards the 14.
Yeah, as long as he can get out cleanly, that would be the key. If he's moving the 8 ball, he needs to control that.
And I think just keeping it simple, nice little movement forward. It's a great shot. He's even got a little angle here he can follow and just come off that side rail. Back to the middle of the table for the 8 ball. I don't like the draw or the elevation, but it's going to work out.
Yeah, he's controlled that really well. The minute you start moving the 8 ball, it gets a bit of a problem. But in the end, he was rewarded by actually the foul that he committed. We're also going to see Chris Melling taking on Kenny Loftus. I'm not sure which way round they're going to be played. I think it'll be Chris Melling versus Kenny Loftus first, and then the Tyler Steyer versus Tony Showman match. But they're the 2 quarterfinals we'll see. The other 2 quarterfinals will, well, they're already underway. I can tell you Billy Thorpe is already 3-0 ahead of Shane Thompson, and Corey Jewell already 1-0 up over Chris Reinhold.
So moving very fast now that we're here in this final day of action. Not wasting any time. Again, this is the first of our 3 championships, the ladies, going on right now. We'll have our final 4 on the ladies after this round. And we'll cover some of those matches after this rack. Get an update on those scores. Again, you can follow them yourself at ultimatepoolusa.com. And Jaden here, really, the pace is a little fast, but he's moving through this rack well. He's going to have a strong shot here.
Yeah, I don't think he just needed a trace of English on it just to get onto this. But what's he got for us? He needs to come up with a big shot. Oh, he needs another big shot now.
Well, and this the shot here is the cross bank, and he needs to channel his inner Chris Melling.
Oh man, just caught the point.
Well, I think we've seen more highlight reel style shots from these two than almost anybody else, that would have been absolutely one for it. The 8-ball just barely missing that side pocket. Oh, and it's got to be a little heartbreaking for Jaden. Made a good run there, and now Braden has an opportunity to run these balls out. Really impressed by the time management from this young man here. We've seen a couple times the shot clock dwindle down to that 5-second mark. Very aware of where the time is. He calls his extensions and gives himself just a little bit more time. This is going to be a tester here.
He's not afraid to leave himself big shots. Well, this time he gets it horribly wrong. Is he going to get away with it?
I don't think he will. And for Jaden here, I think it's important. You have 30 seconds. Take a little bit of that time just to get comfortable on the shot, because the cue ball.
Yeah, he's worried about the scratch, and he's dealt with it well.
That's a great shot there. And we've got a match.
The way this match has gone, the way things have happened since getting to the 15 seconds a shot, it's hard to see either player running out here. And that 6 minutes is very much in play. That match clock is very much involved in this game right now.
Well, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but to see a 6-ball shootout decide our first champion, it would definitely bring the excitement. Oof.
And what two chances, but the second one for Jaden with cue ball in hand. It was a poor decision really to where he put it. And what chance he had to win the title there. It's going to be tough for him to sit there and wait for an opportunity. Will he get one? We're going to find out.
Huge break here.
Braden Splawn has made a brilliant break, and he has first opportunity here in the deciding frame.
If he takes the solids here and he's able to compose himself, the only real question at hand is that 7-ball. I believe the 2 passes, the 3 has pocket. Everything else is good to go.
If you can get on the 2, though, that connects to the 7 into the side.
I think he's just missed his mark and needed about another 1.5 inches. Be wary of the shot clock. You don't have an extension.
Oh, 8-ball on the... Wow, that was going for a bit of a ride.
I'm going to need a handkerchief to cover the sweat off the top of my head right now. This is stressful.
Yeah, and we're down to under 5 minutes, and this is messy.
And Braden, oh no.
Well, he scratches, but still not a good layout here for Jaden.
And Braden here without an extension in this final rack. Jaden still does have that extension. So in a sense that when he needs it, and he calls it now. Oof.
Tries to break out the 14. It won't come out for him. Is it time to go safe again?
And we're just at the 4-minute mark left in this match. At this pace, if Jaden keeps making these balls and is able to come out with a shot on the 14, we will not see any type of shootout.
He's got the chance now. This is the angle he wanted. Key shot.
I think he's going to come out okay.
He's on the 14, but where's the 8 going? Can he move the 8 here? I don't know if he can.
Quickly made that 14, but, well, yeah, like you said, the 8-ball is in trouble.
Well, he's going to have a good angle.
Just got to make sure he doesn't clip that 7 ball on the way out. Oh, he missed the 13.
And he would have had a shot as well. With the way that came out, he'd have had a shot inside.
I think I'm in this situation. If I'm Braden, I think I have to play safe. Yeah. I have to play safe.
You've still got 3 minutes. You don't have to do it in this visit. You know he's going to go. He's done it the whole match.
When here, I think he's going to be forced to. I think he should just clip the 2 ball, end up behind the 8 ball. Think quickly, Braden.
Not quite touching, not quite frozen. So just a delicate little one here. Yeah, well
Great
played.
Shot.
As long as he hasn't tied up his 2, as in he needs that to still go. Otherwise, he's going to have to play a breakout.
Yeah, and looking at ball in hand here, now's his opportunity to get that breakout. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the match.
If it's that awkward, just play the breakout. You've got the perfect ball for it. Oh, I'll go the other way. Use the 5.
Yeah, I think this shot clock is really putting a lot of pressure and affecting the decision making.
Yeah, strange choice that one. Why not play the breakout first shot when you've got cue ball in hand? You've got the perfect angle, and then you get the chance to go and win it.
Oh, and this is an absolutely nasty position here.
Under 2 minutes to go.
4 seconds. No,
well, this is going to
do it.
That's going to be loss of frame.
Oh, no.
That is going to be loss of frame, and it will be loss of match. Well, you can't deliberately foul. Well, we don't know what's happening out there. Patricia Murphy now having a few words with Jaden. Well, this is going to be an interesting one to work out. Drama at the back end here of the junior final. But for me, the right decision should have been Braden Splawn essentially played the deliberate foul, and that would have been the end of the match. Our referee team will work this one out. Interesting decision to be made. You cannot play a deliberate foul. You have to attempt to play your ball. Braden just got down, played the stripe. He was on the solids, and essentially that should have cost him the championship here.
Yeah, really unfortunate situation that we're in, but the rules are in place.
Yeah, I think Braden's just found out that is the end of the match. What a strange way for it to end. An issue with the rules there for Braden Splawn, and that will cost him the title.
Our champion of the Louisiana Junior Open, Jaden Holt. It really was a brilliant tournament with 32 brilliant junior players involved, but it is Jaden that will walk away with the trophy and the title of Louisiana Junior Open champion.
And here we are back again very quickly. What an immaculate juniors championship match. And crazy drama there at the end, but really a phenomenal situation with the juniors here. 32 players. It was incredible to watch, but we're off to the races again. Stephen Wyatt joined by the one and only Melina Mike.
How are you, man?
It's been a very fast-paced day so far.
Well, it's not slowing down any. We got, what is this, quarterfinal matchup here?
Yeah, I believe so.
Down to 8 players here. Chris Melling coming off a win, I believe, from Shane McMinn. Great standard there from Chris. I think he maybe made one mistake the entire match, at least from what I had seen. And you know, Kenny, I know he's a great player, but I didn't get to see any of his matches, to be honest with you. But it's like everywhere you go around the room, the few remaining matches that are left, everything's just nothing but quality, whether it's the junior final we just witnessed or the quarterfinals and the men's, the women's events finishing up as well. It's been great all the way around.
Yeah, we actually have our first lady through to our quarterfinal matches. Brittany Williams advancing to that final four. Very proud of herself there. And Chris here with an opportunity at the table.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think we're depending on how the bracket lays out. From all the players I've seen in the Open event, I think it's between Chris and Billy Thorpe, personally. Billy's just breaking like a monster, and we know, how great he is on the bar table, but he just seems to be getting better as each match goes on. And the same can be said for Chris, quite the tactician, and deliberately picking apart racks and opportunities like Kenny left on the table you can't do against a player like Chris.
Well, and the winner of this match here is going to face another name that's done fairly well for himself here in Louisiana. Corey Deuel will face the winner of this, and then Billy Thorpe probably, and Mike, you might know better than anybody, I think Billy might be playing the best pool of his life right here.
Certainly the best pool over the last, I would say probably the least 3-4 years at a minimum. So he seems to have caught in the gear. His head seems to be in the right space, and this is the Billy Thorpe that we became fans of all those years ago. So, and he's just getting stronger. Like I said, that's the remarkable thing about this tournament. It's like we know, he cut his teeth on the bar table, so we know what he can do, but we haven't gotten to see him a whole lot playing, especially bar table weight ball. So to see this ultimate pool here and the success that he's having just shows his versatility. So what a great shot there from Chris.
Yeah, and Billy Thorpe will play the winner of our next TV match, which is going to be Tyler Steyer and Tony Chohan. Billy and Tyler, that has the potential to be great matches, and Billy and Tony just got off a one-pocket grudge match, so really just great opportunities for good matches all the way around.
Yeah, Tony, not known for being a great bar table player, but he's really sneaky all around. Like, he plays all games really, really well. It's no surprise. And then if you guys have seen Tyler break the balls since Thursday, you know why he's still alive and well in this tournament. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. It's going to be really good. Tyler and Tony.
And again, it just gets better from there.
I think it was like 170 players just in this one alone. Just shows maybe it's a credit to the people of Louisiana or things like that. But like I said, I think as they continue to travel more, that you're going to see more players from different regions enter it.
Yeah, and speaking on that, our junior finalist just a moment ago, Braden Splon, traveled from Mississippi. So it's not just the pro players that are traveling; it's the amateurs and the juniors and the ladies. I met a young lady last night. She flew from Puerto Rico to play in the Louisiana Open.
Get out of here, really?
I'm being dead serious. Caught her in the elevator.
Amazing.
And
that's like planning your life, right? Like, you're taking time off of work or whatever priorities or responsibilities you got going on, and you're making this an important part of your year. You know? So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, I ran into her in the elevator, and I asked her where she was from because she had a heavy accent. She said, I flew from Puerto Rico. I had to play the Ultimate Pool I had to play the Ultimate Pool format. Is going to move on. So we have our final four ladies. It's going to be Brittany Williams, Tiffany Brock, Brittany Maynard, and Michelle McDermott. Two of those are going to play our final. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the diversity here in the Ultimate Pool scene. So, and it just, you get a lot more player that way, So.
Yeah. And for being the inaugural event, it's only going to grow from here.
Yeah, look, I'm the first skeptic when it comes to something like this, and so I'm just thinking, okay, well, what's the support going to be like? How are juniors going to work here? Because I know Louisiana a little bit. Look at Chris. Oh, heart's racing a little bit there. And I'm surprised, like I said. And, these guys came in here. Look, you show up here in the U.S. from coming overseas, and you're not just selling a gimmick. You come over here and you put your money where your mouth is and say, hey, listen, we're adding whatever it was, 30 here, we're adding 3 here, we're adding 5 there, and that's not to mention the overhead that comes with putting on an event of this size. So I think they're looking to give players more value than maybe what they've been used to here in the States. But to start off like this is exactly what they needed to do. So, and I'm just excited to see. I'm excited to see Chris and this. Today I'm excited to see the 4 ladies that you mentioned go and compete, and I want to see more junior turnout in the events coming forward as well.
Yeah, and anybody who follows Mike knows that he does quite a bit for the juniors.
Yeah, I'd welcome it. I'd be even more excited than what I already am to see him and to see their name on the tournament bracket. So Kenny letting out some frustration there. Big break.
It worked out for him.
Yeah, it did. And he's had 2 scratches on the break and a couple of misses. That's how he got to a 5-0 hole here. But he's got at least an opportunity, and you got to start somewhere. So,
and I think the somewhere you have to start is by just making a stripe. It doesn't matter which one. I don't think the 2-ball is very easily gotten to, so I would definitely say the stripe is the important shot. He's going to take the 9-ball.
Yeah, I like it. You make one good one, you're in everywhere else, or at least you should be.
Oof.
Does not want to hit the 8 full, and he doesn't. He's all right, though. He can breathe a little easier there.
He could have gotten him real rough right there.
It could have been really, really unfortunate for him. This is the kind of rack that could really just, I don't want to say change the momentum, because he still has a ton of work to do even outside of this, but at least get him feeling more comfortable.
Yeah, he kind of got a weird angle here. He just, if he can, because he can't play. Oh, he can see the 12.
Draw a little bit, yeah. Get a good full hit. Nicely done. A lot of control there.
I thought he was looking at the 15 for a second. He played this well. He's going to get on the board here.
Yeah, just what he needed. Just what he needed as Chris Melling just awaits his opportunity at the next break. 5-0 to 5-1 now. Coming off this, get on the board.
Yeah, it shows a little bit of emotion there. A nice little hand raise.
Yeah, it goes back to what I was saying, just as far as the 7-foot being more of an equalizer. Look at this, not another break. Oh, man. He just waves his hand. He knows. He knows, and the frustration is being shown now, and I completely understand why. I think that's his 3rd scratch.
Yeah, this is a tough position for Kenny here, but
well, I think we knew Chris was the class of the match, but you wanted to see, you don't want to go out losing like that, right? You lose because the guy outplays you, sure, but to continuously get one scratch and off the break after another, just a bit of bad luck there.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
And I think in about 45 seconds, Chris is going to be sitting down in his chair, waiting for the balls to be racked, because he does not waste time. Pretty big spot here. I think they're playing for a little bit under $2,000 is the pay scale here from Final 8 to Final 4.
Yeah, and it was posted on the Facebook page. Just to break it down for you, those who went out in that 32 spot are going to collect $625. Those who came out on the last 16, $1,225, and it just gets bigger from there. We'll cover all that, but Chris Melling with a huge win here.
And this is for a place in the semi-finals in a couple hours' time against Billy Thorpe. It is going to be Tony to get us underway. Summer Webb and Collins Newey with you for this one.
Looking forward to it. This is going to be like the what would you say, almost cliche matchup of creativity versus methodology, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Steyer, like a very deliberate player, and Tony Chohan, best well known for his mind in one pocket, which is a very complex game that we play out here in America. And I'm sure he can apply the same concepts to 8-ball when the rack gets a little complicated. So it'll be fun to watch.
It has been fun to see Tony kind of grow into the tournament. We saw him in the shootout, and here he is in the quarterfinals, kind of trying to make his mark on 8-ball.
He's up against a pretty tough competitor here, though, in Tyler Steyer. He's been breaking incredible and dealing with problems in a really fantastic way. So he just had a heck of a match versus, I'm completely spacing on the gentleman's last name, Lance. It went...
Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield. It went like 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, and then Tyler got to the hill first and finished the deal, but it was a long match.
It was a long match because this quarterfinal now was actually due to be on before the junior final, but the match the last 16 match lasted so long that the junior final was ready to go. The juniors were happy to get out there and get it done.
Of course,
and
rock and
therefore
roll.
it was, so they were, gracious enough to get their match on early, and obviously they gave us a treat of a dramatic ending there. But that shows you how tight that match was, and obviously there's no match clock on the on any of the other tables here in the Shreveport Convention Center, so you can be a little bit more drawn out.
Sure. Now Tyler's working his way through this one. It looks like he's taking solids here and trying to address the 7-ball right now. Does a good job making good contact, but gonna have to come with something here.
Can he make the 4 in the corner? If he can, then big shot to win the rack, really. The rest would be plain sailing. If not, he's got some problems.
He's gone back and forth quite quickly between checking the hit spot and the line behind the cue ball, so it looks like the ball goes, and he'll be able to use the 7-ball to get back to deal with the 6 in the side. Doesn't want to drift too far here. It looks like he missed the 4.
And I think it's exactly your call there. He was worried about drifting too far to the right as we look, and the 8-ball getting into play, not being on the 7, and well, that's the reason for the miss, making it on the straight side of the pocket, but too much.
Yeah, and the stripes are all wide open except for the 15 ball, which I'm sure Tony will be able to sort out some way. That's probably why he's dealing with the 11 ball first, because it opens up the opportunity to shoot the 15 in that pocket, and he can use either the 14 or the 9 to get there. Unfortunate cue ball here, though, making things a little bit messy here right out the gate. He's taking a quick little deep breath and acknowledging that things got a little bit more complicated. See if he can make a shot or two to get back in line. Pretty nicely done there. Should be very doable from here. I love the way that Tony moves the cue, man. He's got a super loose wrist, and the way that the tip of the cue actually moves in his practice strokes it's almost hypnotizing. It looks so smooth, so effortless.
Yeah, it's the rhythm, it's the feel.
Yeah. You can see just a little bit of vertical motion as the tip moves forward and backward towards the cue ball, and he just delivers dead straight through the cue ball, and he can get a lot of power out of it too because that wrist is so loose. Nice touch of inside on that ball, coming down for the 10 ball, and we're probably on to the next rack here.
Yeah, just highlighting his sort of feel there. That pace control was perfect.
Simon, is this the first match that you've watched Tony on the TV table, or has he played on the TV table already?
He's been out there a couple of times.
Oh, a couple of
weekend.
times.
Obviously played in the shootout. He was out there. Who did he play? I can't remember who he played yesterday, but he was out there yesterday as well.
Okay. Must have missed that.
Yeah.
Tyler's been absolutely smashing them all week. Getting a nice hop on the cue ball. Just like that. Stops it with a perfect amount of overspin. Did he make a ball? Or was that a dry break? Tony standing up.
Yeah, Tony wasn't sure, but it's Tony's chance. And that's a tough one for Tyler because he did hit it well. I think from what I've seen throughout the tournament, I think Tyler's breaking with the most power and control combined. Billy was breaking huge when we saw him a little bit earlier on, but the control from Tyler throughout the tournament, every time we've seen him play, that cue ball feels like it's being parked every time.
Yeah, he plays with a nice the pop break where the cue ball pops off the table a bit, just like you would see in a normal 10-ball rack, but Billy's been hitting with more of a muted break, keeping the cue ball on the table and stunning it off the stack. But Tony with a nice opening shot there, taking no time to get down on this thin cut on the 1 to open up the rest of these solids. and leaving himself in a spot where he's going to have to find a narrow window for the 7-ball or play the bank at some point. And that, I'll mention again, Tony being a one-pocket specialist, that short, maybe one diamond or so bank, it comes up quite commonly in that game. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he just decides to bank that ball if he doesn't have another way to get it out, or lay on the ball in that window between the 9 and the 14. Oh boy.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not good, but might be workable here. If you find a thin cut on the 7-ball and find a pocket, you've got insurance with the 2-ball laying over the corner. Yeah, tough to pocket the ball, but when you've been playing all day, I'd say he's got to be the favorite to make it. Great shot.
That's brilliant. He's coming up with his shots here, and he's back into really good shape.
Yeah, he could see the 2-ball no problem from here as well.
And maybe not quite the way he was playing it, but he's got the hardest ball out the way, and now it's open. It's run them through a 2-rack lead.
Oh
Wow.
My goodness, right as you say it.
Wow, how can he make what he's just made in the last 2 racks and then miss that ball?
Oh my goodness. We have not seen many blunders on this table at all this week, and that is probably the biggest blunder that I've seen.
From, you know, some of the amateurs aside, from any of the professionals we've seen out there, I think that's the easiest ball miss we've seen the whole tournament.
Yeah, astonishing moment for Tyler to possibly come back, steal this game, and tie things up instead of Tony taking the lead, manhandling the table and taking the lead instead.
I'm just in shock.
Yeah.
I was fully expecting 3-1.
Absolutely.
And we, as commentators, probably get a little bit guilty of kind of almost giving them the frame before they've won it. But I feel like I was there.
Well, I mean, certainly when you look at the odds, right? If you were to play that rack from that spot with Tony Chohan in the driver's seat 100 times, how many times do you think he doesn't get out? It's wild.
I would have said 100.
Almost 100, yeah.
Almost 100. Yeah. But yeah, 99 for sure.
And here we are.
That's the one.
Tyler playing a nice plant. Is that what you call that?
We call it the plant. You call it the combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd call it a plant, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
I also don't know why you call it a bank. But whatever works.
That's fair. That is fair. Depends on how much money it makes you.
Yeah, that's true.
Couple rails forward, nice little punch shot here. I would assume more draw the ball, yeah. Getting to the good side of the table, and really could play either ball here. Could play the 12 ball, and then roll forward, play the 13 in the bottom, or sorry, the top right. Or play the 13, roll forward one rail if you want to let the stroke out. You could draw the ball. There's so many options here. He decides to punch out 2 rails. That's a confident stroke right there. That decision right there, even though he came up short. Or sorry, no, I didn't see the 14 ball on the table. But either way, the stroke there shows his confidence in how he's been hitting the ball all day.
It's just slightly overdone this one, but no real problems.
Yeah, I think it's just enough angle to roll forward and get to the short rail. And for Tyler Steyer, you're saying happy days. Thought that this would be the one that you stay in your seat the whole time, and now you've got a shot on the 8-ball. And breaking, right?
Yeah, back on serve, really. And he would have seen what we saw, which was fully expecting to go 3-1 down. And
here we go, Tony Chohan with a nice long flowing bridge here. Big break. Ooh, kind of a dead cue ball off the stack, and gets fairly fortunate to not scratch in the side. Gets kissed out by the 6-ball. Dry break either way, and essentially you'd probably count it about the same as ball in hand in this position with the 6-ball sitting right there. Tyler being able to use that ball to open up this traffic near the 8-ball.
Are you thinking about just dropping it in and playing the 5?
I'd say you go in with a fair amount of speed here, actually. Not a ton of speed, but get things moving a little bit. Try to clear that 8 out of there. If the 5 passes, I guess it is playable.
Is he on it though?
I couldn't tell if it was tied up with the 2-ball.
I just felt the way he was queuing up to it. It just looked like maybe he was thinking about the breakout on this shot, but he might not quite be on it.
If you can draw back into the 11 ball, the 2-ball's wide open. Pretty good spot here. Blind cut though. Blind cut to the corner. Cue ball not really a worry here. Got the 4-ball sitting right over the corner pocket. You've also got the 7-ball if you somehow find yourself eclipsed by the 10. And Tony now, just moments ago, was kind of looking around with a furrowed brow, knows that he's going to find himself more than likely in his first deficit position in this match. Ooh, a little funny clip by the 7. Maybe the 7 a little bit higher than would be ideal. Fortunately, though, obviously the 1 and the 3 are on the complete opposite side of the table, so you got the real estate to let the cue ball run a little bit here.
I actually don't think he'll be too disappointed with the amount of angle he's got. Just has to pace control it.
Wow, he hit that really nice to keep the cue ball so slow.
Yeah, he held it even more than I thought he would. And
yeah.
Maybe more than he thought he would as well. I think he'd like to have travelled a few more rolls up the table.
Hit it into the thickest side of the pocket.
He is still on the 1, so he's okay.
He's putting a touch of inside on this ball, it looks like, to use the 13 ball. And just checking to find the guaranteed shot line, meaning the line that he can roll the cue ball into to make sure that no matter what the speed after the rail, he's got a shot on the 8 ball. Great shot. Great speed control there. Taking the punch shot there, coming across the shot line. It's very easy for me and the rest of my buddies to overhit that ball.
Yeah, very good from Tyler Styatt. Gets himself in front for the first time.
Here we go, the moment that Tyler was hoping to have. Let's see if he can deliver. Huge break, cue ball way off the table. Ends up landing and finding rest near the short rail. I believe he did make a ball. No,
frustration for Tyler. Now he has to sit and hope he gets back to the table. The momentum swings, the mental swings out there.
Wow. Isn't it crazy how many times you come up dry when you get to the hill?
And we are about to go to the 15 seconds a shot as well. We're 45 seconds away from the last 10 minutes, which will have a bit of a factor. I don't see the match clock running down, but the 15 seconds a shot will make this a little bit dicier out there.
Yeah, just for reference, Tony would have 2 seconds left at this point with a 15-second shot clock. But taking plenty of time to make sure he comes up with the right decision here, as he's found an opening. Gonna nudge this 15 ball open here. Sorry, rather the 1 ball playing a...
Wow, huge. Tyler was 4 steps to the table when the 1 ball went in.
Wow.
What a moment that is for T-Rex. Now he's tied up the 8 ball pretty badly, but the fact that he's still at the table is hugely fortunate, and he still has a chance to win this rack.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's going to come up with another exciting shot at some point here. Probably right now. Oh no, absolute disaster.
He had a good roll previously, not this time. He can see the 4 ball, but I don't think you can do a lot with it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He elevates the cue and swerves it a little bit to attempt a 3-ball full table combo and barely jaws the pocket.
That was ridiculous.
That was unbelievable. Imagine if that ball went, the crowd would have gone nuts.
Oh dear. And now he has to hope, and he's opened everything up.
Yeah.
And Tyler Steyer's at the table, chance to go and win the match. You'd say just the 13 ball, bit of attention on that one. The rest is all there.
Yeah, just the immediate get down and fire by Tony Chohan there on that 3-ball combo perfectly illustrates what I was talking about that high risk, high reward mentality with no fear.
Also, that get down and fire, you kind of have to at 15 seconds.
Of course, yeah. He almost got there.
Oh, doesn't get his breakout. So he's going to have to rework it.
Yeah, I'd assume that he'd at this point need to work his way back up table, get the 12 out of the way, and then somehow find a way to use the 14 to get straight in on the 13 up table. Other than that, things are, I mean, that's a tall order in its own right.
Could be a bank for the semi-finals, really, if he wants to go that way. No, he's going to nudge it now, or try to.
Oh, and he's not going to. Oh, he nudged the 4 as well. Imagine if it opened it up just enough to be able to play the 13 rail first.
Well, he's coming around to have a look. I think it has. I think he can squeeze it in there now. That's a huge roll for him.
That is huge to catch the 13 and the 4 in the same shot. Is he in position here to be able to
I
roll
think
to the 14 as well?
might have a turn too much angle.
Yeah, it's kind of in between, almost like you want to. Yeah, at that speed to come across to the 14, it makes the pocket way smaller. And he already had to play it thick and kind of flirt with the point of the pocket as it was. What a dramatic game here for the what looks like to be second to last game of the match. And Tony's just running around the table here, ready to get on with it.
Just about gets there as well. That was a bit dicey.
Yeah, second time we've seen him shoot a similar shot into this pocket, but he gets there. And we're looking at a hill-hill match with a 15-second shot clock. Everything is on this one shot. And as much as this one shot makes a huge difference in the rack, that shot clock could make things interesting here. Great spread. Did make a ball. Has an opening shot on the stripes, and I believe every stripe has a pocket, if I'm reading the table correctly.
Maybe the 10 just needs a bit of attention.
But he's got the 11 right next to it. And he's going to be moving fairly quickly here.
Yes, can you figure it out at 15 seconds a shot? But this is for a place in the semi-finals.
Moving forward here, you gotta avoid the 4-ball here, so probably going to cue low. Yeah, nice punch up table. Needs a shot on this 14. Or he's going to have to take another long shot now on the 9-ball, try to hold position for the 10. The 2-ball comes into play here, if not absolutely, but in your mind as well. You're not able to kind of roll the ball through the shot. You've got to cinch the cue ball around the 2.
Yeah, this needs to be struck well.
He uses the 2. And ends up straight in on the 11 and moves the 2 out of the way so the 10 ball's playable up table.
Yeah, how good's that?
That turned out quite nice. Oh, imagine being elevated by the 8-ball there.
Yeah, he could have done with another few rolls on that one.
Yeah, he may play the bank. And especially with the shot clock running short, he's just committed already. No time to readdress the 14. Plays the bank and it comes short.
And it's going to be checked for a time foul as well. That was awfully close. They have called a time foul. As I say, I don't think it really makes too much difference. I mean, it does give Tyler the opportunity to place the cue ball wherever he wants, but he has what he wants, which is cue ball in hand, or has an opportunity at the table is what I'm getting at. But he will move where it is.
Yeah.
It does make it slightly easier just to deal with this 1-2 situation, but not too much.
He very quickly gets down, takes ball in hand with elevated cue over the 10, no problem. And the table is open. Tyler just playing the cue ball into the optimal zone on the table there, with options to play either the 5 or the 6, whatever he ends up best on. He's chosen the 5 ball, and it looks like a stop shot here will leave him with an ideal angle to get back across the table to the 6. And it looks to be that after a very dramatic last 3 games, Tyler's looking to be the final inductee into the semifinals.
One more good positional shot required.
Just slides across and decides to use all 6 pockets, bringing the side pocket into play to seal the deal. Tyler Steyer. And the final 8 ball of this match.
What a match. What a match. Tony Chohan playing a huge part of it. He had his chance. He wasn't able to take it, and it is Tyler Steyer that moves on to the semi-finals and a matchup with Billy Thorpe.
All right, guys, we are back. Our first semi-final action match of the day. Corey Deuel and Chris Melling. Stephen Wyatt and Cleve Thompson here with you. Cleve, you're back. You came to sweat the action, yeah? And, oh, you got to flip it around. 1 second. Hold on.
Mike duties, yeah. Yeah, I'm back just to watch some of the action. That was a nice break from Corey. He straight down the middle, and the cue ball just sort of parked up literally in the breaking area. So it was a very brilliant controlled cue ball on the break there, which obviously gives him options and looks like a run out here.
Yeah, this is interesting. So our final 4 here, Chris Melling, Corey Deuel, and Billy Thorpe, Tyler Steyer. Out of that matchup, you really have a really big dynamic of playing styles.
Yeah.
Billy plays a little looser and a little bit carefree, but he plays it very well. Tyler, a very structured style of play. Corey, I think you see that structure, and Chris, again, is kind of that free form, nice and smooth style. So there's a chance that all kinds of stuff can happen. I'd love to see just a very competitive finals. That's what counts for me.
So is he going to bump into the 4? Is he going to... Yeah, he should bump into the 4.
He didn't help his 8-ball situation there, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal for him.
No, I mean, he might, when he takes the red 11, is that the right number?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he might come up on the inside of the, on the left-hand side, or to play the 8 in there. Oh, okay, that's a clever shot, just move the 4 out of the way. That's a very, very good awareness there.
Yeah. Good understanding of your surroundings and what your issues are.
Yeah.
Well, and this might be the fastest rack I've seen Corey take down. Just over the 2-minute mark here as he gets down on the 8-ball. And we're off to the races. 1-0 Corey Deuel. After that, we're going to take a quick break from our open event, and we're going to crown a ladies champion. It's going to be Tiffany Brock and Michelle McDermott in the finals of the ladies event. and then we'll be back immediately after that with our final to crown our Louisiana Open champion. It's all coming your way later tonight, and we're going to go back to back to back. No stopping now. 2 more champions to crown. We crowned our junior champion earlier in an absolutely heartbreaking moment. Jaden Holt defeated Braden, and that was a wild match. Were you able to watch any of that?
No, I've not seen any of that.
Oh, it came down to the wire, and an unfortunate, untimely, intentional foul. Unfortunately, just a crazy situation. The time clock was down to 15 seconds, and it was hill, and it was just a wild situation.
So you played an intentional foul on the other rule sets? That's okay, or
yeah. So
right.
in normal American pool, it was kind of a crazy situation. The 8 and the 2 were lined up to the pocket, and he was solids, and so he can't tap his 2 ball without making the 8. And the time was running, and I believe, I don't want to get it wrong, but I believe the young man is somewhere in the range of 12 to 13 years old. He just didn't know what to do, so he played an intentional foul to his opponent's ball.
And lost a frame.
And lost a frame in international 8-ball rules. Very heartbreaking, but congratulations to both of them. I am a fan of both of those young men now, so I'll be keeping an eye on them, and I can't wait to see them show up at other Ultimate Pool events. But meanwhile, Corey has really stuck himself here.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the drama of the 15-second shot clock. When it gets down to it,
Yeah, when
it creates all kinds of situations that you're not used to. So unfortunate situation there, but I know for a fact the young man is very pleased with his performance, and he knows now that
that'll put him in good shape. Sometimes you need a real sort of
like a wake up, a learning experience.
Learning. So sometimes even a bad loss like that, a dramatic loss like that, it actually sets you up for the future. You know.
Yeah. Look at that combo.
Yeah, Chris is very good at combos and spotting. He's just so good, and that's not me. That is nothing to do with a UK standpoint by all means necessary. I do. From what I've seen, I do have my favorite, not my favorite, who I believe is going to win in a quartet. Not quartet, sorry, in the foursome, shall I say? Oh, quartet, yeah, I was right. First one. Same thing. Yeah. You know, this game is a lot. I think both semi-finals could be a contrast of styles.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, both matches can go to any of the 4 players. I mean, we have literally several combinations of a final we could have, because all of these guys are playing well enough to get there. And you know, Tyler and Billy might be breaking the best I've ever seen in this tournament. And of course, the firepower of Chris and the steadiness of Corey. Corey's only loss to Shane Thompson came in a real back and forth victory, where Shane Thompson,
that's a lovely shot there,
just played absolutely phenomenal to send Corey to the B side. Corey quick to come back and join the losers qualification, and now he's here in the final 4 playing Chris Melling.
Up and welly or something like that, they called it, like an up and welly version. So it's almost like you're picking up something from a welly, what do you call it, like a water welly sort of thing?
Like a water well?
No, a watermill, yeah, sort of thing. Like it's like I call it a conveyor belt. So it kind of goes up
like
and down.
I know what you're talking about. Like you're turning the thing to bring the water out.
That's
of the
it.
well.
Yeah, I can't think of the name now.
But he's got. So I call it kind of the wheelbarrow.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't know why I call it that, but it's got that up and down motion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players who have, like Chris. Chris has the very distinct slow drawback, good pause, and then the smoothest follow through I've ever seen.
And that's all snooker. What you'll find is most snooker players, if not all, has what we call is a few feathers, stop. So a pause at the front, a slow draw back, and then a pause at the back, and then accelerate through with a nice transition. Now, believe it or not, for the snooker fans out there, you know, people argue, say that Ronnie O'Sullivan's got the best snooker cue action. He actually has like that conveyor belt action. It's quite minimal, so he actually has no pause at the back. He just slows it down at the back and then dips his shoulder and go through.
When you talk about snooker players, you talk about like Hendry. Hendry has that little bit of it's like a zing or something. I don't even know what to call it, but he has that little bit of a weird motion there. But I mean, he's one of the best in the world.
So. I mean, you know, he's a former 7-times champion, Hendry. Ronnie's matched him. So, but back to the action here on the pool table, and Chris is going to draw this back now, I think. Oh, nope, he's going to. It's just stun out, should I say. I didn't know what kind of angle he had, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a big power stun right there.
Yeah.
You hit that ball hard and get the cue ball to just come out off the rail.
And that's what Chris's cue action allows him to do. You know, it's got that nice acceleration drive that he can just get action on the cue ball.
Yeah.
Very, very long, you know. His bridge hand is really far away from the cue ball on all shots. Even on slow shots, what you kind of...
Something my dad taught me when I was learning to play pool is anytime you miss a shot or do something stupid or whatever, you don't ever react, because you're giving your opponent the only thing that can never be full, and it's always free, and that's confidence.
Yeah.
So you're giving away free confidence when you react to shots, or maybe, you know, you kind of bump your cue on the ground.
Right, exactly.
You're just making your opponent feel better about their situation.
Well, that was a brilliant break. David watched the replay. He's crunched them, made the
five ball. I think he made another one.
He made another ball, yeah. I'm not too sure what it was, but he's taken solace here, and these look very comfortably. You know, these are he's gonna just drift down for the 2 ball. Come across for shape on the 7 ball, and just be the 3 and the 6 ball for last. He might opt to take the 3 ball now, so he just clears the pathway. Yep, so he's going to take the 3 ball probably. No, he's having a second look. For me, it'll be the 3 ball, but I think he's just worried about the angle he has on the 3 ball. If he's that worried about it, he probably can just kind of pop it backwards, pop the white ball back, screw the white ball back towards the left-hand side of the table.
Yeah, just wants to avoid.
No, so he's going to take the 7 ball now.
He's come up a little awkward on this one.
Yeah, he's going to fight the top corner. The other thing about it, he's going to have to kind of like dink it a little bit, but I don't think you can hold for the 7 ball properly, so he might have to go around the houses a little bit, or he might just...
So, yeah, I think he's going to cut right through the 3 ball to the corner, in between the 6 and the 8.
He's taking it to the side. And he's... Yeah, and for me, I think he should have taken the 3 ball earlier, draw back for the 7 ball.
Yeah, over here in the
corner, and then just swing around the 2 rails onto the 6 ball into the top left.
Yeah.
Top right, sorry. And he was worried about it, because you can see by his study of the patterns. But are we going to see Chris Mannix do Chris Mannix things again? Is this going to be a highlight reel shot?
When this is, you know, I think ideally off the...
Oh, that's skidded. He misread that big time. So after the big break from Chris, which he had everything at his mercy, he's made an unforced error, and he's handed Corey the table, and Corey should be making the scoreline 6-4 with himself to break next to make it 6-5 if he can. Again, Corey's got he needs help from Chris in this situation, and he's got the first help.
Yeah, he got the first help. He's got to get at least one more, and then this is all on Corey here. He just simply has to And he's shooting kind of fast.
Well, he done a 15-second 6-ball shootout on the. Anybody wants to see the highlight reel on that one? Darren Appleton recorded it. 15 seconds, 6-ball shootout on one of the tables outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe out on the TikTok table?
No.
Or one of the other side tables?
Yeah, one of the side tables. Yeah.
Wow.
TikTok. Yeah. 15 seconds.
22 minutes left on the clock. Corey needs a ball down.
No, he's dry. And again, Chris has got the balls at his mercy, so hopefully he'll put that error away.
And he's got a fielder's choice here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he takes. The 11 ball does pass the 2, and the 7 ball does pass the 13, so it's whatever he likes, really.
Well, I think I think if you're taking stripes, the 8 ball's going to be more readily available after clearing them up.
Yeah.
If you're taking solids, the 8 ball's just a bit. Although it goes, it's just a bit sort of sniffy to one pocket, maybe.
Yeah, I think Chris recognized that as well, and then also the 3 and the 4 being a little close to each other near that pocket probably influenced his decision to take the stripes here. So I imagine he's going to shoot the 10 ball, and I would think that he wants to get at some point on the 11 kind of early.
So it's just asking for the cue ball to be clean, and what will happen when the cue ball gets clean? There's no time stop.
Yeah, it's on your own time.
It's on your own time, yeah, and that's the same with getting the rest, or what you guys call the bridge.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I think it's going to be taking the yes, that's what I thought. The
14 ball.
14 ball next. Take the
He actually might. He's looking at the 12 here.
Sorry, is that the purple? What's the purple? Sorry.
Yeah, 12.
12. That's what I meant. So 12, then the 9, then the 13, and then the 11 ball last.
So yeah, okay, yeah. So you're saying 9, 14,
14, sorry,
and 11.
Yeah. You have to forgive me for my number combinations, because it's not something I'm used to.
I'm going to send you a graph of all the balls. That way you can work on them.
I mean, I know 1 to 9. So it's just the numbers after I've got to think about. I know they double up.
Well, the way I remember it is the red ball. So whatever the red ball is, plus 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus
so
8.
the 3 is red.
Red
plus 8 is the 11.
Yeah. So Corey's just conceded before Chris pots the 8 ball.
Yeah, very quick match out there.
Yep.
Corey with a great tournament here. Chris Melling moves into the finals. He is your first finalist for the Louisiana Open.
It really is a tough match to call. Both players have played incredibly well. Stephen White joins me on comms for this one. You have to say, from what we've seen today, though, Billy Thorpe's probably been the player of the day. Yeah,
we didn't get a chance to see Billy in the shootout, and we didn't really get a chance to see him up until yesterday on the TV table. In my opinion, I believe that this match will come down to who can break the balls better, and that's really all it comes down to. Billy played an absolute flawless match earlier, and Tyler has done the same several times. So, I mean, again, it's just the break, and whoever figures that break out first and is able to keep it consistent will win this match. And Tyler opting for the solids here.
It looks like a problem here on the right-hand side, but if he could get right behind the 7 or get good shape on the 7, it's not really a problem. 7-1 combination is pretty much locked in.
Yeah, and I think it's actually helpful because the 1 ball is just very slightly off the rail. So I think with the way the table is accepting shots, I think it'll actually be helpful. He doesn't have to be dead straight on.
It was really interesting actually watching, I obviously with you on commentary with Cleve for the first semi there. I decided to go and watch it from the back of the arena and speak to a few people, and it was nice to see the game from a different perspective here in Louisiana, but also it was interesting. We've got 32 other tables here, and there was 2 people playing. You had Tyler Steyer and Billy Thorpe. They were a few tables apart. Just they didn't stop. Didn't stop. They're just keeping the arm going, staying in stroke, just getting themselves ready.
And Tyler's, in a sense, Tyler's famous for this. I once heard a story that Tyler at a tournament asked if he could practice early because the tables had not been opened yet, and they opened the tables for him. He played and practiced on that table until he had to play his tournament match, and then once the day was over and the tournament was done and there was nobody left in the room, he went right back to that same table and continued to practice for his day 2. His drive and his ethic is really something to be marveled at, because he has no quit and he has all heart.
Yeah, a real professional, really is as well. You know, on and off the table. You know, when it's business, it's absolutely business out there. But you know, when it's the dedication, and when he needs to spend time, you know, working with different people, sponsors, and whatever else, he gives so much back to people. He's an absolute quality person all round, really.
Yeah, great ambassador for the game. And
Yeah, that was the word I was searching for.
He definitely did not want to get all the way back here. But
he's a touch fortunate as well to have the gap. He can get to the centre of the cue ball, which is a touch on the fortunate side.
Yeah, absolute phenomenal ambassador for just the entire sport of pool. Really top-notch guy. And of course, and Billy too. Billy is Billy's a promoter of pool.
Second match in the shootout, he could see he made a big effort to play quicker because he didn't want the match clock to be as big a factor. But with it being 50 minutes for a race to 7, the match clock's only going to be a factor if, you know, we go to, say, hill. Maybe then we might get close, but even then it's unlikely.
Well, and we saw it come into play last match against Tony, right? Oh no.
Too much power. Jumps it off the table. So this is going to be cue ball in hand anywhere on the table. That's the difference here. If you scratch off the break, then it's just cue ball in the kitchen. But here, anywhere on the table is good.
Well, that may be the one mistake that might cost Tyler this match, because the level of play is that high right now. It only takes one mistake. Kind of what we saw with Corey and Chris. Corey just wasn't able to overcome a couple of small mistakes, and Chris absolutely on fire. Billy has a big shot right here. Maybe didn't get right where he wanted, but he's going to be okay here. If he can just slip past the 7 ball on his way up the table, should be fine.
Do you think he would have preferred to deal with the 2 down the table before going up?
Yeah, I do. I think in that situation there, I think he was attempting to get on the 13, so he could then play the 10, because he really wants his out ball to be this 12 ball. He wants that to get to the 8 ball, but now he's going to have to work a little harder for it. And in a situation where he received ball in hand off the break, you don't expect Billy to make a shot shape error like that. But hard to call it an error when he runs the balls like this.
Yeah, maybe just a rerouter, not really an error.
Billy looking to steal the rack. In this situation like this, you have to hold your serve. You have to score on your break.
If this one goes against him, it's back to just the 1 break.
Let's see how he does on this one. So far, been very good.
They exploded really well. Oh, I thought he was going to scratch. Would have been unfortunate, but he has stayed on the table. He has some decisions to make out there, though. Stripes aren't great, nor are solids. I think solids are better than the stripes, but what are you doing with the 5 ball? 4 balls guarded. There's room, but you've got to get there. 8 balls fine. Stripes have the issue with the 11 and a few up the table, and then you've got the 13's a problem as well. So all in all, get to work on the solids.
Yeah, it's always tough when you have a layout where you have the same situation with opposite sides. On the top right of the table, you have the 15 in front of the 5 blocking, and on the bottom right, you have the 6 blocking the 13. So work to be done all the way around the table. I think your only saving grace here is that 14 ball and 8 ball. It looks like they're tied, and I'm not sure if the 14 ball goes clean. It looks kind of funny to me.
So decides the 5 does go. So that's one problem really out the way, and therefore solids were by far and away the better set, because this was the big problem ball, I felt. But once this one's out the way, he's a good chance.
Yeah, still has to navigate the 1 ball, but he'll be able to connect that with the 14. I'm sorry, the 4. So just wants to play this as smooth as possible and not bump the 11 too far. That's perfect.
May have been better for him just to catch that a little bit fuller, or the underside of it. Where's he going to take the 1 from here?
I think he's just going to play it soft on the side.
Oh, he's done well. He's done well to hold that well.
Yeah, that's not an easy ball to hold at all.
There was a ton of angle on that. To hold that well was a very good shot. Obviously, he had a line nice as well, because if he uses the 12, it helps. So a good shot, and it's going to be another rack here.
And just wants to. Oh yeah, he's playing so well. Feel comfortable. And big pop break. The timing on that, he was extremely quick with the snap. And unfortunately, no balls down.
Wow, what a turnaround in this match. Tyler's got an opportunity to make it 5-5 from 5-1. And have the break as well, if that was to happen.
And I think if you'd asked 10 people who they thought played the best today, I think over 5 of them would say Billy Thorpe.
Yeah.
Tyler here looking to send Billy back to Ohio.
There is nothing you can do if you're sat in your chair, though. If you don't get the chances at the table, it doesn't matter how well you're playing.
Such a brutal game we play, isn't it?
Tyler just about run out of time there. Wanted to go for another wonder, trying to figure out his pattern here, but clock got him.
Yeah, taking his time, trying to plan his route.
Can he get out from the 1 without disturbing the stripes?
I think he may actually try and get the bump to give the 7 a pocket.
Oh, he's okay.
Oof.
For a second, I thought that was going to end up absolutely horrible. It's just pulled up and given him a shot.
And I do think he was trying to give it a little bump to just open up a playable shot on the 7, but it ended very awkwardly. Referee staff going in for the good look to make sure there was no foul there. And still not done here. The 5 ball going down into the corner. It is a big pocket. You can use the rail to help the 15 ball, or to help the 5 ball go in. The 15 ball is going to cover it. Played that well. Yeah, that's a really good shot, a really good play there. Tyler really turned it on in the last half of this match. And what looked to be almost dominance by Billy Thorpe early on has quickly turned around. And we're now looking at the possibility of a 5-5 game here. Race to 7, 16 minutes and some change left on the match timer. And tie it up hill. And we're down to our 12 minutes and 50 seconds. If Billy were to win this rack, it's inevitable that we would be down to that 10-minute mark. And Tyler has felt that pressure.
Oh, can you believe it? 3 straight dry breaks from 5-1. And Tyler has a chance to go and win the match.
So there's a small issue with this. If he wanted to take the stripes, he has no shot here. The 7 and 3 are in kind of a weird spot. Does the 7 play into the 3 cleanly?
I think there's plenty of room for it. Yeah,
okay.
I think he's okay. It's just controlling the shot. Where does the 8 go? Where does the 7 go? It shouldn't really be moving too far.
Looks like he's trying to take it out right now while he has the opportunity. He played a very good shot to get an angle. Maybe even too much.
Well, he got 2 minutes to that 15 seconds a shot, so if he gets out in this visit, it won't really be in play. Just at the back end of it, but should be in line by then if he's going to get out.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that could happen is something go wrong and be down on a tough 8-ball on your very first shot clock that's only 15 seconds. Oh, and Tyler here again looking at that combo. He's been looking at it for a minute or so now. Oh, he finally, that's perfect. Uh-oh. 7-ball got a little high there. It should go in the side, though. Tyler Steyer set up perfectly for this win over Billy Thorpe. He's just got a few more balls to make here, and we're 45 seconds away from that 15-second shot clock. Shouldn't be an issue for him.
Yeah, he's exactly where he wants to be now. Just has to hold himself together, and it will be an incredible turnaround.
And what a story for Billy here. Really putting on a clinic against Jeff DeLuna and having a huge lead in this match. And Tyler Steyer showing how much grit he has, and he looks to be coming back to win this.
Well, we saw him play Jeff DeLuna, and he was flawless. I know that he played Shane Thompson, and he was flawless, and he's been flawless here, yet he's not going to make it through. Sometimes you just don't get the chances you need. Billy Thorpe, other than dry breaking, really just has done nothing wrong here.
And now we are down to that 15-second shot clock. Luckily, Tyler's in a prime position to just play the shot smooth. And that'll be the only shot where it really comes into play here. Tyler Steyer about to cement his spot in the finals against Chris Melling.
Just an incredible turnaround. 5-1 down, and he gets the next 6 chances, and he runs the match. Very impressive from Tyler Steyer. He marches on to the final. He will take on Chris Melling for the Louisiana Open title.
And both of these ladies hoping that the pressure gives them the advantage.
Here we go then. Tiffany Brock to get us underway. And it is going to be dry here in the opening rack. disappointment for Michelle there. Wasn't the easiest of opening chances, trying to make something happen, but that couldn't have finished too much worse. Because what's happened here is not only is she not on the next ball, she's opened up the stripes here.
Yeah, able to make the good hit. Now going to open up the table for her opponent to do something with her suit.
This is a really good chance for Tiffany to just get herself into the match here. Just find just a little bit of rhythm out there. The layout is decent.
And for her first time out there, she does look calm. She doesn't look like it's taking too much of a toll on her. A tough bump there. Still some work to do on the rack. Really good shot there. That's a tough cut in the side, and she was able to slice that ball in and be able to see her next ball. So just got a little bit more work to do.
Yeah, I just feel like it's starting to become heavy work here.
I think there's a good possibility that she can break this ball out here. I think that's what she's going to try as well.
Made it worse. Needed just to slide by it. It did go top left, not anymore. Whether she could have taken it and connected to the bottom, probably without the cannon. So slightly unfortunate because it's only just off.
Just overcut it there. We're going to see Michelle come back to the table. The 7 ball in a tough spot, but if she can manage to move that ball and get a shot, she has a good chance of getting out here. Very nice slice on the 1 ball.
Seven's the key.
And she's going to have a couple opportunities to break that ball out. Just a matter of if she can get the angle. She may have it here.
This does look perfect, just to play it natural. A real full contact on the 10. Keeps you on the 2 and pops the 7 into play.
Yeah, and what you said there was the key, is it's natural almost. So no need to do anything extra with the cue ball. A lot of times players tend to try and force the cue ball to do what they want when the angle is just right there.
Just slid off it.
Yeah, and I don't think she got an angle for the 7 to go in the corner. She's got a tough 2 ball to contend with. Looking for the bank.
Yeah, that's very good.
I think she's going to have to make another.
Depends on, I think the 7 goes, so it depends on what the natural line is. If the 7 goes and the natural line is avoiding the side, which I think it is comfortably, then you should be able to just track the 8 ball, but the bank kind of keeps it simpler. Well, it is the bank. How about that?
Well, that's a great start to this ladies finals. Able to make 2 banks in a row, just needs to finish it off with this 8 ball.
Just steadying herself.
And does not have an extension.
It's just a blind shot, really, just awkward enough.
I do believe the time clock got her a little worried there. She rushed that shot. Not the easiest layout now for for Tiffany. She's going to have a tough opening shot.
Looks like she's going to try and play 3 or 4 rails. Misses the 14, unfortunately. Trying to catch it very thin to play the 4 rails behind the 10. And that's going to cost her the frame. Simple 8 ball for Michelle McDermott to get the opening rack on the board. There it goes. Nothing doing on the break, so Michelle will get first look at this rack.
Nothing really jumping out as what I would prefer to shoot at. She likes the solids. The only issue there is just the 7 ball. If she can get a good angle, she may be able to get out of this rack.
I don't think it's the 7's too bad. You've got access to the 3. And you've got, I thought you could access the 3 from down the table, but you can get there from the 2 as well. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Drop it in. Unfortunately, it's just a turn too much angle. So, question to me is, does the 7 pass the 8 to the corner? I think it does. Might be the ball. The problem is, if you take the 3, you're going away from the 7, then the 7 becomes a problem ball. Whereas you take the harder shot now on the 7, gives you the chance to win the rack.
And I think the time clock got to her there. She did have an extension that she could have used. But again, first time on the TV table, sometimes that just slips your mind.
Well, she's got herself a good angle on the 6. I don't think the 8 ball's going to hamper her too much. I think the centre of the cue ball's available. She may have to raise the bridge hand just a touch. Now needs to find the good cue ball.
And I think the play here, just in this particular situation, is maybe just to try and go in and bump the 7 out. Maybe get an opportunity for it in that top left corner.
I like going that way, though. I know what you say. I agree with you absolutely. Try and give yourself as much chance, but going up the top way, assuming the 7 does go in the corner, I mean, it goes in the side for sure, but if it goes in the corner, then it's absolutely perfect here.
Yeah. And she played it well.
And she's just got to navigate the shape on the 8 ball, but you don't want to worry about it too much. Just make the 7. You've obviously a good player, so you made it to here. Just comes up a little short there. Luckily for her, the 15 and the 11 is definitely something that Tiffany is going to have to worry about. She's got an opportunity for it here.
I think the plan here is the safety.
I like that. Very smart play.
Played well. There's one thing just to sort of get the guaranteed safety there, but I like the ambition just to pop them open, make her potential clearance an awful lot easier in doing so.
Yeah, and this could be the moment in the rack that Tiffany needed to get a good opportunity to run the rack the way she wants to. A ball in hand situation here allows her to pick her pattern. And the 8 ball didn't cover the 15, so Tiffany here again getting her choice, can play this however she wants and get a chance to get on the board, at least in her mind, where she earned it.
Yeah, and this is one where I really like the 11 last. I like the 15 first.
Yeah, almost like a backwards, working it in reverse, the 15 down, and then the 11 ball is just your out ball.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be shooting the 15 to get on the 8.
No, but it's not bad. I liked it first, but it doesn't have to be first because you've got the 14, so you can go 15, 14, 11 as your last 3. So you just need to get good shape on the 15 off this one here, off the 10.
And in this situation, being an amateur player, what I really like to focus on is taking out the balls that give my opponent the easiest shot first, because then if I do end up out of line and I were to miss a ball later on, I want to make sure that my opponent's 1 ball on the table is very difficult to get to. And I think she's played a little bit of that here, making the 7 ball difficult.
Doesn't need to do anything though, just make sure. So you got, of course, going into the 8 ball, but the 8 ball's going to pop on and off. It is fine. The cue ball's going to come a touch low, but you're only dropping the 14 into the side dead weight. So that's fine.
And she actually set herself up pretty well for the 14 ball. The 8 ball's not on the rail anymore, so she should be able to get out of here. This 14 tight to the side pocket. Sometimes these shots can be tricky. Good shot there. Maybe a little further than she wanted to move it, but the 8 ball's there for her. Wants to take the lead here. Oof. Used all of that pocket, did Tiffany Brock, but she is going to catch the lead here, 2-1. And just something to note here with the average length of these racks. If we were to see Michelle get another rack on the board, that 15-second shot clock would be almost inevitable to be in play. I think if I'm Tiffany here, within reason, I would definitely want to pick up the pace a little bit. All within reason. Don't want to miss balls because of it, but you definitely don't want to have to contend with that 15-second shot clock when you have such a large lead.
Yeah, I think just a case of, from Michelle's perspective, keep an eye on the clock, but Got to win the next rack. Got to find a way to get some momentum going again.
And when it rains, it absolutely pours, Simon.
Yeah, surprised by that.
Just a misjudged angle. Sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking that we can cheat the pocket a little more than we actually can. And honestly, Tiffany here has not really missed too many balls.
She's been very good. Really has from, well, for me, from frame 3 onwards, I think she's been brilliant.
That's a good shot there.
Now she's going to be careful not to shirt foul here. Having to play over the top of the 1 ball.
Keeping a close eye on it. Well, and definitely used all of the available space in that pocket there. But it drops nonetheless. And for two ladies who were just in very long, grueling matches where they did have a lot of time available to shoot, they both handled the shot clock fairly well.
Agreed. Hasn't really been a factor. Tiffany's slightly annoyed because she's just gone past the straight on the 9. Straight would have worked, actually. Straight in would have been absolutely fine, but coming past it, she's now coming away from her work without a good line.
I do think if she's just very touchy on it, she can just roll forward with a little stun. She got a lot of movement there. This is going to make things interesting. The tin ball does cut, and she has a bit of a blocker on the scratch. This would definitely be a highlight shot for her.
Tries to go for something a little bit more expansive. Doesn't work.
Almost came away pretty good there.
Well, that would have been nice, but not to be. This is where Michelle's just got to get going. One good shot to land nicely on the 6, and it doesn't need to be too bad. She's got room to play with, and it's there. And straight after it.
And this is a good start for her here. And then really from here, just keep it simple and don't overthink it. She's got a real good chance of getting herself back into this match. Maybe would have wanted just a little bit of an angle on the 4. And gonna opt to play the 7 here. Use the 2 to get back on the 8. Makes it a little bit tougher. But just gotta execute it.
Well, this is a tough shot now. Not just the pot, but getting onto the 8-ball.
That and the added pressure making this ball is extremely important for Michelle here.
Oh, still not over yet. No, not going to get there. So, chance goes. Michelle really has just struggled since making the 8 mid-frame on frame 2.
I thought maybe she would opt to go for the 13 first. But she's able to make the 10 ball on the side. Another difficult shape shot here. Queuing up with a lot of high right. She actually played that very well. And just one more good shot is going to put her on the hill. And if you take a look at our match clock, we are 30 seconds away from that 15-second regress shot clock. And the speed, the pace, and the tension of this match is about to heat up with Tiffany Brock on the hill.
Yeah, another very good visit to the table for Tiffany Brock. Michelle McDermott has got so much work to do. And with 10 minutes left in this match, it will feel like an awful long way back into it.
Just needs to keep control of the table here with the ball down on the break, and she does. Watch out, cue ball. She's good. And a very tough rack here.
Which is great for her. That's exactly what, you know, you want to see. I know that she'll be looking at going, oh, I wish I had a nice easy run out for the title. It's fine. It's a messy table. Just don't dig here. Just ask Michelle to be the one making the running here with this rack. I think I'd just play off the 14 ball, go up to the top rail and say over to you. There really is no benefit to keep going unless you get out, but it's not. That's a lower percentage.
And that's the other thing that she needs to focus on here, is that she just needs to not make any huge mistakes. No fouls, no scratches, no time fouls for sure, and just let it play naturally and take your time.
Oh, this is where it's going to get tough.
And she can't see below the center of the cue ball, so pulling back for this 10, 14, 12 is going to be, oh, she's going to take the 10 here. That's a very smart shot here.
Not particularly worked out, though. Nowhere to go here.
I think you'll see her shoot at the 14 down in the bottom corner, and she may end up in a real pickle here. And Michelle immediately out of her chair. I think she understands the situation, but she does have a tough layout here, almost seemingly impossible. At this point, she needs to make a lot happen here.
Oh yeah, that's certainly making it happen. How about that?
And it's still so much to work around, and with the time not on her side, she can't really afford to play a safety here. She's going to test it.
Yeah, but that's another solid 15 seconds off the clock. Down to 4 minutes.
And it was a good hit. Tiffany missing an opportunity there to take her time on that kick, let that clock run. Another good hit there. You see the pace is quickening for Michelle, but
yeah, 4 racks in 3 minutes. It's just not going to happen.
yeah,
She should get out here. She should get this one on the board. She needs to do it in about 30 seconds max. Even then, that's nowhere to go, really. So she'll keep trying, but you don't feel like it's going to be here.
oof. And that's about the one thing she didn't want to happen. This is the best potting I've seen her do all day. She really has put together a strong rack here. It's just, unfortunately, I think it's too little too late.
It's almost as though once the sort of the pressure's almost off because you can't get back into it, then you relax and you actually just let your arm out a little bit and start playing. But it will be too little too late. We're inside the final 2 minutes now. Tiffany's just in a comfort zone, just do what she wants here. Should be able to just clip this in. Oh,
Oh, wow.
oh, that's amazing. That stayed on the table.
That ball is
Can't quite believe
hanging
that.
inside the edge of the pocket.
It's defying gravity.
Yeah, and here as we drop into the last 90 seconds, I think for Tiffany here it'd be nice to simply win with the out. You know that you've won this already.
Yeah, nice to get to 7. Just beat the clock here. Very nice. 8 ball for it then.
And with just under 50 seconds left on the clock, Tiffany Brock is going to go down on the 8 ball to win the women's division of the Louisiana Open. Does she make it?
Never in doubt. Tiffany Brock is the champion. It really was a fantastic performance. Opening couple of frames were a little bit scrappy, but the minute she got going and found her form in frame 3, she ran a few racks and took it to Michelle, and she walks away with the title and the trophy.
Our champion, Tiffany Brock. It really has been another brilliant tournament. We have one more trophy to hand out, though. We are going to take it to the break. When we come back, it will be the Louisiana Open final.
And therefore, the advantage for Chris Melling having the opening break could be huge come the back end of the match. It's still a 50-minute match clock. The only change, it's a race to 8, and the trophy is on the line. And we are underway. And Chris is going to scratch on the opening break, meaning that Tyler, who ran the final 6 racks of his semi-final with Billy Thorpe from 5-1 down, has the opening opportunity here to essentially make it 7 straight run-outs from the break. Summer Webb and Stephen Wyatt with you once again for this final. And it's a tough one to call this, it really is.
Yeah, and what a great culmination of a weekend. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Got to spend a lot of time here in the booth with you, Simon, and it's been great. I can't wait to do it again. But let's look at what's in front of us. Tyler Steyer has had an amazing tournament with a huge comeback in the semifinals. Chris Melling taking a loss early yesterday to Jeff DeLuna, able to come back through the losers qualification. So much on the line here.
There's still plenty of work here in this opening rack. for Tyler. Oh, that's beautiful. Really trying to control that absolutely dead weight to deal with the work. The reason I was saying there was plenty of work is that the 5 didn't come down the table, and I didn't think he could hold, but he's played that really well. And he has held just about straight, maybe half a turn short, so he can get up the table.
Good shot there. Funny little note here. This is the match that I was wanting to happen in the shootout.
Yeah.
Darren Appleton put a stop to that one by taking out Chris Melling.
And it was interesting, actually. I asked Tyler in an interview afterwards, you know, you got Chris Melling in the final, thoughts on it, and he said, you know, he wouldn't want it any other way. So much respect for Chris and his ability, especially with 8-ball. Obviously an all-round player, but especially with 8-ball, that he wants to try and take him down here in the final. And he's going to start off white, and reverse one out, and getting the first one on the board.
It's an incredible feat.
Well, that run is going to come to an end as Chris Melling has first chance here in rack number 3.
And not the easiest layout. Everything is kind of very close knit to each other. I'm looking at the 14 and the 4. Both those balls do have an available pocket, but it is tricky to get to them. I think Chris may play the 7 here to play the 4. You think? Yeah.
And that's really the work done. Now it's just connecting them together. That was the only ball that needed any attention, and he had the perfect ball to get there straight away.
It's going to be tree-topped over this ball. Makes it a little bit more difficult to cue. He hit it well. It's amazing to see how smooth he can still deliver the cue ball, even when jacked up over the ball like that. Nice little punch into the 12 ball to stay straight on the 6 ball. This has been a good run here.
And a good way into the match for Chris Melling. Runs out his first chance.
Oh no. And this is what Chris needed. If you're rooting for Chris Melling here, then you're feeling really fortunate for him. Ball in hand after a big break. And how do you like this run out? The 12 ball, his only issue.
Yeah, what's he got planned for us here? Where he was lining up there. I just wonder if he's trying to get past the 8 ball here. He's trying to go into it from that. I just wondered if he was thinking about just trying to leave it on the left-hand rail past the 8 ball, and then he was going to use the come across the top of the 12 to pop the 15.
That's actually exactly what I saw, and would have been a fairly easy shot had the angle been right.
Yeah, and he's got the 13 over the pocket as well as a nice kind of next ball if required. He saw it differently. He tried to go into it.
And time almost getting the better of him. Already used his extension, realizing quickly that the shot clock was dwindling down. Made a phenomenal shot to the side pocket and broke out the 12. No matter how many times you see players like this come to the table, you can't help but think how absolutely incredible this is to watch.
But it's just not that easy. It's just such an elite level. I mean, there are times when you get great players out there and they make a ton of run-outs and you're kind of getting good splits, good leaves, but this is one really tough layout. You know, Tyler's had two really, probably even tougher. His first one was ridiculous.
Brutal.
The next one was very similar to this sort of level. And the guys are making it look easy.
Well, if you could ever ask for anything in the finals of this tournament, it would be to see it 3-3 with 33 minutes left on the clock in this race to 8.
That's all sorted now. Just some disturbance in the crowd, but it's all done.
And Chris here has a ball down, several balls down. And what do you like here, Simon, as far as stripes or solids?
I like the solids. Just get straight to work. Easy, controlled opener. It's jazzy. Oh, he has. You saw that shoulder slump. Does it go? No. You can tell that by his body language. Now I don't like the solids at all. I like the stripes now.
Yeah, the 3 ball is really in a bad spot here. Now, I don't know how likely it is that he'll have a shot afterwards, but the one in the side carries 2-rail position to bump that 3 ball. It's just a question of whether or not he would have anything afterwards. There's a possibility here that he's looking at the 7 to connect to the 3 with the breakout. This is not easy.
Well, is he going to play it here?
He might. Oh, that's
not going to work.
Rough.
You have to say, for a player of Chris's level, that opening shot was just a touch on the careless side. Kind of, maybe he rushed it. We were talking about how quick he plays, but he was down and playing it quickly. But that's not uncommon for him. But just a touch on the careless side, it may cost him getting out here.
Well, and this is not an easy shot. The natural path is really putting him stuck into that corner. Maybe not a scratch, but it's too much to risk, I would think.
What else has he got, though? He is lining up a... I was thinking you'd make the cut, you're going to get the 9-half ball, and you're obviously asking for some form, but...
This bank here is on if he can hit it good. Oh.
So for the first time in the match, we don't see a player run out off the break.
And not for lack of trying, he was deathly close to that 3 ball in the top left corner. Tyler here looking to take full advantage. Well, he's making it look easy, keeping it simple. He'll have no issues here.
Very nicely done. Always a fairly simple task when your opponent misses their last ball, but still got to get yourself the right side of the run out, and he's been flawless throughout.
Yeah, maybe got a touch straight here, but again, we're nitpicking at that point. And maybe being that straight caused him to get on the rail, but this 8-ball should fall. Good run out from that position. Tyler Steyer taking the lead once again. Chris Melling holding the lead by 1 game. He's going to have to win this rack and then hope for a mistake by Chris.
Oh no, scratched again and straight in again, just the opposite side of the table. Break just letting him down at the wrong time here for Tyler Steyer.
And quite possibly the best spread I've seen. Wow.
Yeah, this one might not take very long.
And that is the ebb and flow of this format. 1 rack, 7 minutes long. The next, 1 minute and 30 seconds.
If the 6-ball passes to the corner, then this one is going to be over in the next 25 seconds. But if it doesn't, it might be an extra 10-15 seconds or so.
And Chris is going to make sure that it goes, because I think he's going to play the 4-ball here. Really opening up the pocket for that 6. Yeah, this is absolutely brutal for Tyler. Looking at a chance to tie it back up, and what an opportunity for Chris, and he took it, and now he is in the lead 6-4 in just a matter of seconds. And I'm wondering if we're going to see him take a little bit of power off. Again, both were slight kicks, but held the line to the pocket, so maybe a step back in power will put him where he needs to be.
It's a better cue ball.
And balls down all over the place.
Oh, that 15 ball just rolling far enough to
really mess things up.
If the 15 stops 1 roll less from where it is now, well, Tyler would just about be getting down on the 8-ball now.
I think in turn now, you have to take the stripes.
Yeah.
The 15 ball goes in the top right. And Tyler just needing to navigate his opening shot.
Is he gearing himself up to come down on the solid still?
I think he is.
Yeah, big shot on the 2.
Now he must see something that we do not see.
Well, the reason he wants this way round is that the 3 is good to get onto the 5. But from where he was, the 3 was the obvious first ball for solids. That's why he's taken on the much tougher ball there.
So really just taking the tough shot so you can have the easier shot later.
Yeah, it's like one tough shot to give you a great chance to run out. He'll be disappointed with that, though. I wanted the full ball on the 15. He would have just held him on a better angle. Now he's going to have to really work the cue ball.
Yeah, taking a look at the angle there, it looks like he's going to want to go down to this bottom rail and spin almost between the 9 and the 1. That's scary.
Yeah, just wanted to slide by it. That's awkward. Slide by it or full ball so it goes towards the centre. Got about 3/4, so now he's in trouble.
Well, this is the shot for Tyler. He knows what kind of firepower his opponent has. He understands that a miss here could very well send him home.
And it will be a miss. It's a wide. And Tyler will go back to his chair believing that his shots required in this championship are over. He will expect Chris Melling to run out here for the title.
And Chris, really, the only navigation he has to do is just making sure he has a good shot on the 15. Everything else is very open and available.
You can see him there very deliberately kind of mapping out his finish almost visibly. You don't see him do that too often. He really wants to make sure it is the tournament run out here.
And you never expect somebody like Chris Melling to show nervousness, but maybe just a little bit there.
It was just a case of, he does have one bit of work to do, I think, and that was just a case of just trying to make sure how he wanted to do it. I mean, there is plenty of room for the 15, but that means you just need a good angle to get there, and he's going to use the 10 to do it.
And it may not matter much, but just 30 seconds away from that shot clock. I think he doesn't want it to sneak up on him. So he would like to finish this run before that comes into play. It's not going to.
Well, he's a little bit on the straight side here. He may not get too close to the 9. Happy enough just to accept distance.
And Chris here feeling good, as he knows that he is just one ball away from holding up the trophy in just a few minutes and beating Tyler Starr in the final of the Louisiana Open.
And there it is. Chris Melling is the champion. Brilliant performance all the way through. Had to do it the hard way, had to do it through the loser's side. But he's dug deep, got himself back into the winner's side, and he is going to walk away as the Louisiana Open champion.
Chris Melling is your champion. It really has been an incredible 4 days here in Louisiana. The first event for Ultimate Pool USA, the first of many. We will be back very soon for our next event. Watch this space for the dates, for the locations. But from Louisiana, we'll say goodbye for now, and we will see you again.